It's day 2 of Boardmasters, and I'm here with Rhodes, who've just come off stage.
Yes.
So tell me, how was it?
It was really good. Like, I feel like at festivals, I'm kind of introducing myself to a lot of new people, so it's really nice to get out there knowing that most of the people watching have never heard me before. But it was such a stunning setting as well, so I mean, I think no matter how the set went itself, I would have enjoyed it anyway. So.
Did you see some faces that started off a bit like that, kind of warm up and soften up a bit and smile by the end?
Well, there was a lot of people sitting down. And people,
hungover.
People like to sort of set up camp, don't they, for the headliners and stuff.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. I think I did see people just sort of coming around to it. Yeah, it was nice.
Now, when you come off stage, are you just filled with adrenaline and feeling a bit shaky and wanting to chill out somewhere, or are you kind of on a high?
I kind of manically walk around asking people, how did it go, how did it go? But no, I think like after I've played, I normally feel quite actually relaxed.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I think it's like the adrenaline pours out of you while you're playing, and during that last song, you just kind of you rush, you know. Like, that's kind of like that. That's the last bit. So I kind of feel I kind of feel all out of energy afterwards. Yeah.
You need a good nap, power nap.
I think I do. Yeah.
But we're stopping you from that, us horrible press people.
Okay. I'll have a coffee or something like that. It'd be nice.
Now I want to talk about your duet with Birdie, because I was reading somewhere that you're quite a solitary person when it comes to your writing. So how was it having to adapt to kind of sharing the responsibility?
It was actually very natural. I think it depends who you're with, I suppose. But yeah, like I wrote my whole album in my bedroom. You know, like quite lonely, really. But I don't know. We just hung out at a piano and like, you know, one thing led to another, and we sort of came up with this song. We didn't have any sort of like plans for it. So it started off kind of like just a bit of fun, and that's what made it nice. Like I've heard that like people who like have other people write for them and with them, like it's like a case of going in a room and just being like, let's write a song. But I don't like that. So no, it's good. It's really nice, very natural. So
there wasn't like that pressure, like you've got an hour, it has to be done by then, it has to be a certain way. You could just see what happens.
It was all good. It was all good. Yeah.
And has it made you think, okay, I can do this collaborative? I'm going to do it a bit more often now.
I like the idea of collaborating with other artists and stuff, but I don't like the idea of collaborating with songwriters. You know, I don't like that.
So it has to be what you genuinely feel.
It has to be what you genuinely feel, and I think if it shouldn't necessarily take someone else to sort of bring that out. But I think I loved collaborating with Birdie, so I would. I went on tour with Amber Run earlier in the year, and Joe's a great songwriter from the band, and like we love well, he really likes a couple of my songs. I really love a few of his, and I think it'd be nice to hang out with him one day and write a song together.
So it's basically, if it's not forced and it just naturally happens, then possibly.
That's the vibe, yeah, totally.
Now, looking at the bands and artists you've supported before, like Rufus Wainwright, they're just very emotive people, evocative sort of stuff. Is that what you look for in music, and in the music you create? It has to make you feel something, create an atmosphere?
I think so, yeah. I think it does. Like, I think I do have a preference in music, but I do like lots of music. But I really like the way music can make you feel a certain way without any lyrics. You know, like I love atmosphere, and I like to sort of listen to like classical music or film music. I like listening to soundtracks and thinking like, how are you making me feel this way just by this sort of sound? And before I started singing, I would write pieces of music and just show them to people and try and work out if it was making them feel the way I wanted it to, you know, just without any lyrics. So, yeah, no, I definitely think that's the kind of thing I'd go for.
I'm a big film score kind of nut. Yeah, so who are your favourites? Danny Elfman was one of them, I read.
Yeah, he's one of my favourites. I like Nick Cave as well. I think he's a fantastic film scorer. But yeah, I think like as a songwriter, as an artist, like Nick Cave's probably one of my favourite people. So I'd probably say him. He's done a few good ones. But yeah, Danny Elfman's good. I mean, Edward Scissorhands is one of my favourites.
Now, when you're like creating these soundscapes, how do you find that balance of, you know, putting all the strings in there, the instrumental sections and stuff, but also making it viable commercially? How do you find that balance?
I think I've always been into textures and layers, and I don't like things that really stand out, like things that, like there was a bit of a phase where people started just having a big saxophone thing on their songs like a few months ago, and I was like, what? Like what? Why is that suddenly just started happening? I quite like just using things as little underlying textures, and I think as long as it enhances, like, so if you write a song on the piano or the guitar, I think everything surrounding it, because I'm not a band, I mean I have a band when I play live, but so I write a song on the guitar or the piano, and everything else around it needs to accentuate the song itself and not be a feature of its own. I think, yeah. People can discover the layers for themselves after like a few listens and stuff.
Do you kind of like that people have to kind of give it a few listens to understand every aspect and get all the elements?
I think so. I think I do like that, and it's I think it's important for people to read their own meaning into songs. I think some songs can be more obvious than others, but I like to keep it quite open and open to interpretation, a bit more ambiguous, you know.
Talking about the evocative nature of your songs again and the emotional aspect, when you're on stage, do you have to kind of go on autopilot so it doesn't get too overwhelming, or does it kind of deteriorate the more times you play the songs, or is it always emotional for you?
It is. I think if you think, I like to sort of like just get in the moment. If you start thinking too much about like maybe what you've written about, maybe if it's a moving sort of story, then it could be quite hard, I imagine. But like no, I try and just enjoy the sounds and just try and get into the zone and the atmosphere, and obviously think about the meaning of the song a lot as well, because otherwise you wouldn't portray it the way you want to portray it. But no, I like to think of it as a whole thing and just really get lost in it. Yeah.
Now, when you first write a song, do you have any people in your life that you know will be brutally honest with you, that you play the song to and go, okay, what do you think?
My manager would not hesitate to tell me if something was awful. Yeah. So,
has he ever done that yet?
Yeah, loads of times. Yeah. There's been a few arguments, to be honest. But like, it's kind of hard when you make something and you create something, and it's like, if someone says they don't like it, it's hard to take. I think that's why I sort of, before I started singing, I had a fear of sort of being alone on stage and writing songs and singing them, because I think I was scared about people telling me that they were rubbish, which is, you know...
No one wants to hear that.
I think if you played guitar, and like, because I play guitar too, and it's kind of, and if it's out of tune or you play a wrong chord, it's a bit more sort of funny, oh god, whoopsie. But if you're singing, it's like, that's coming from inside you, like the lyrics are meaningful, and if someone tells you they don't like them, it's kind of like, oh god, no.
So would you say it takes a while to bounce back if you get a criticism? Do you kind of dwell on it a bit?
No, I don't dwell on those things, no. I think it's important to trust your own judgment, because we mustn't forget that art, music and everything, like everything creative is a subjective sort of thing. So like, people might not like everything, like, you know, there's songs that I detest, but millions and millions of people buy them, you know, well, no, I don't think I actually detest any song. I don't. I take that back. I retract that statement. I don't think I do, actually. If ever I say I don't like something, I get this guilty feeling. Yeah, I do.
Like you're a bad person.
Yeah, like I'm a really bad man. But no, I think, yeah.
Now, how do you adapt to every aspect of being a musical artist in 2015? Because there's so many bits that musicians don't necessarily want to have to do, but it just comes in the parcel of it all. How are you finding it?
It took me a while to get used to like social media and stuff. I get quite upset with the way everyone's kind of up against each other. I don't like that. I think it's weird, like competing. You're always, your success is now measured in like sort of social media statistics, and it's
numbers.
Like, well, yeah, and I think like it always has been in a way, like, but I think it's easy to forget that there's actually music happening, you know, sometimes.
Art.
Yeah, but I do quite like Instagram, and I do like that. It's nice to look at pictures.
Yeah. Are you kind of into visuals? Are like videos and the artwork going to be quite an integral part of what you do as well?
Yeah, well, yes. I mean, like, especially like when I first started, like all my artwork was done by me and stuff. I think when you sign to a label, it's quite scary because things do get taken out of your hands a little bit. But it's all about learning how to deal with all that, and learning when to say, hey, hang on a minute, I want to do this. Like my first EP artwork was a photograph I took on my iPhone, you know. So I don't necessarily think you need like the best camera in the world to do a picture of something, to be like an album cover. I think that's weird, but no, it helps a lot. You know, but there's pros and cons. I think I do think about it a lot, but like recently, like videos and things, you start meeting like directors and stuff, and you're like, hey, hang on a minute, you've done an amazing video, so yeah, do what you want.
Let's work together.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got to wrap it up. You're in demand, but you've got a tour coming up, haven't you? And you play Coco, I think.
I am doing Coco. Yeah, I can't wait. I've always gone to Coco for shows. Can't wait.
It's a great venue.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay,
It's lovely.
Have a lovely rest of your day. Good luck with the album wishes as well. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
You too.